Welcome to my favorite game preview of this week, the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. We're gonna start by talking about the keys for each team.
So don't fall for the trickery of Jason Garrett. When these two teams met in week 6, Jason Garrett pulled every rabbit out of his hat, and that was the trick play offense, basically. That's how they got it going. Tons of jet sweeps, jet motion, fake wide receiver passes. The Cowboys have tape on that now, but they have to stay wary of their former head coach, Jason Garrett. Then attack Isaac Yadam, who is the Giants' number 2 boundary corner opposite the All Pro, probably James Bradbury. Um, he has been awful this year, to say the least, and Michael Gallup or Amari Cooper should get a good matchup. Then they have to give Andrew Thomas trouble. Andrew Thomas is terrible against speed rushers, as shown by Hassan Reddick and Dennis Gardeck in that Week 14 game against the Cardinals. And Demarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory excel at speed rushing, so they'll have favorable matchups there. While Thomas should be able to fare quite nicely against Alden Smith. Then utilize both the running backs, and the Cowboys' running game's best when Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott are splitting touches. Zeke just looks more fresh. He runs with some more power if he's given the limited carries and the limited workload, and Pollard's the next change of pace back. Then get the tight ends matched up against the Giants linebackers. Tay Crowder, Cam Brown, and Blake Martinez are not the best unit against the pass, while they're still formidable in the run game. Dalton Schultz and Blake Bell should get relatively good matchups there, and the Cowboys should be running a lot of 12 personnel with Cooper, Lamb, Bell, Schultz, and Zeke to get the best of this Giants defense. All right,
All right.
and you can elaborate on that.
For the trickery from Jason Garrett, I think the linebackers need to read and react instead of just reacting to what they see, because most of the time, Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch or whoever's at linebacker, they just react to what they see and they get easily fooled. And always be prepared from the trickery. Kellen Moore should know this just because Kellen Moore worked under Jason Garrett. Attacking Isaac Yedem, it's pretty just self-explanatory. It's like the Eagles game attacking JK. Just put wide
Yeah.
receivers on him and get free yards. Andy Dalton should have a field day there. Utilizing both the running backs is very important because Zeke at some points will get worn down just because I don't know what happened to him. He's just much slower than before. And then getting tight ends matched up with the Giants linebacker is very important. Although we do not have the giant killer in Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz and Blake Bell should do fine.
All right, and the keys for the Giants are to get Daniel Jones on the move. So Daniel Jones has been hobbled up recently, and they're limiting his mobility. But if they want a chance at winning this game, they've got to get him on the move. Options, anything to get the pass rushers to just slow down. It helps Daniel Jones. It helps the offense as a whole. It helps the offensive line. There's no reason not to do it in a must-win game. Then go after Trayvon Diggs. Cowboys fans are going to get mad here because Trayvon Diggs has had 3 interceptions on the season, and on the stat sheet fares particularly well. But he's a reception allowing machine. Any team that goes after him does it to success. He has a couple good reps here and there, but he's going to be targeted more often than not to success. Then get Jalen Smith to cover. Jalen Smith's one of the worst linebackers in the NFL when asked to cover. And a matchup with Evan Engram this week, who is a very fast tight end, decent route runner, should give him tons of trouble. Engram's gonna get a lot of separation, no reason not to there either. Then get James Bradbury on an island versus Amari Cooper and let the rest play out. There, you cannot sacrifice the rest of defense and attention on others such as Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb because you're giving more attention to Amari Cooper when you already have James Bradbury, who's been one of the best corners in the league this year. Then the Giants' interior defensive line against Joe Looney and Connor Williams is going to be very important to winning this game because the Giants are going to give up yards in coverage if they cannot get to the passer within 2.5 seconds. Connor Williams and Joe Looney are trash. They're not good at all. And Dalvin Tomlinson and Leonard Williams are two really good players who will most likely take advantage of that matchup. All right.
All right. Getting Daniel Jones on the move is very important. Cowboys struggle with quarterbacks that get outside the pocket and can make plays away from the pocket. Going after Trayvon Diggs, it hurts me to say this, but it is true. Trayvon Diggs has given up big plays, especially against top wide receivers or decent wide receivers. And Jalen Smith has just been one of the worst linebackers at covering this whole year. Bradbury versus Cooper is very important for the Giants. Like like he said, the Giants cannot just focus on just Amari Cooper. They have multiple wide receivers to focus on. And the Giants' inside interior alignment against Joe Looney and Connor Williams is very important because if you force Andy Dalton to get happy feet, he'll force throws, he'll try to run when he doesn't need to, and just makes a bunch of mistakes.
All right, now we're going to be taking a look at some of the key matchups for this Cowboys Giants game. So the first one on the Giants side is going to be the Giants O line versus the edge rushers on the Cowboys, and this is a really important one since the Giants O line has been getting harassed all season long, and people like Andrew Thomas have not been able to guard very well against speed rushers, such as DeMarcus Lawrence, as we said earlier. And it's going to be an important matchup because if Daniel Jones is not given enough time in the pocket to make the throws that he needs to make, it's going to be a terrible game for the Giants, and they're probably going to lose. A key matchup for the Dallas Cowboys this week is going to be Ezekiel Elliott against the New York Giants defense, who are currently number 10 in the league, allowing 111 rush yards per game. If Zeke can get started this game and have a strong game with a decent amount of yards per run, then that can set up a lot on the Cowboys offense for Andy Dalton and open up a lot of things in the passing game for the Cowboys, which really would help them with top tier receivers like CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup. All right, now we're going to take a look at some of the injuries for this game. So on the New York Giants side of things, Golden Tate has not practiced for the past 2 days, and he is one of one of the top three receivers for the Giants, even though all three are not exactly the greatest receivers. And Evan Ingram has been limited in practice, and he's most likely going to start this week, and he is probably one of the better receivers on this team. And on the other side of the ball, for the Dallas Cowboys, Leighton Vander Esch has not practiced both Wednesday and Thursday, and that's actually slightly concerning since he's probably one of the better linebackers on the Cowboys' defensive side.
All right. And predictions for this game. I believe that the Dallas Cowboys will win this game behind their offense 24-14, and I project that Michael Gallup has another big game against the Giants' number 2 corners.
I think the Dallas Cowboys will win 35-10 from CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup combining for over 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. And I don't think Daniel Jones is healthy enough to be playing, so he's going to struggle a little bit in getting away from Randy Gregory, Alvin Smith, and DeMarcus Lawrence, which is why he's going to force some throws and possibly get intercepted by Anthony Brown, Diggs, or Chidobe Awuzie.
For this game, I believe the Dallas Cowboys will be winning 38-17 because the Cowboys have been on a hot streak for the past 3 weeks, putting up 30-plus points for the past 3 games. And I believe they'll get started by a strong rush game from Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, followed by a strong pass game with receivers like CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper.
Alright. And that does it for this video.
Like and subscribe if you want more. Comment what matchups we should take a look at for the playoffs.